Could you clarify this this speculation that we hear coming from the opposition, that there are card readers in the central part of the country and some states in the central part of the country that has had some people being trained to manipulate them to their detriment? Have you heard of that? Could you maybe enlighten us some more about how possible is it for a card reader to be manipulated, especially within that region that he talked about?
In simple sense, let me say it this way. The card reader is an equipment that is at the polling unit. The software and all the applications done there were done by us. And so as a matter of fact, I headed the team that started all the process of both the design and development of the card reader. So that's why we know the system. And so what you see is an equipment. But the app, the applications, the OS, everything involved that is like the blood of the system, apart from the OS, were done by us. So when people say that there are things to be done in each zone or whatever, I don't know. Technology, I've not seen. However, we're also aware from threats of hacking our system. And so, in as much as the chairman has been explaining that hacking will be difficult, nobody can get to us, we have taken very good measures, both in terms of the network security, the data security, the inside security. And what most Nigerians didn't know is that in 2015, we had sparks over 1.something million from even outside Nigeria trying to hack us. So we have taken this into consideration and covered our system very well. In terms of North Central Zone or Eastern, any zone, please, our card reader is the same, configured by the same people, our own staff, even the ad hoc, that the presiding officers only use it.
Okay, Mr. Wafo, let me ask you this, because I see DG here who says someone voted at Ilesha East and Ilesha West at the last governorship election in Osun State. He says that the local governments are just streets away and the card reader caught nothing. Is there a margin of error for this card reader, and what is it?
As far as I'm concerned, the job of the card reader is to authenticate and accredit voters. So if somebody have voted in a particular local government, he must have gone with a card that the card reader at that polling unit accepted. If, but not admitting, the guy now uses another card in another area and there's collusion, what the card reader will read the card as the correct card, but the fingerprint will not capture, and he may be allowed to vote there, but which is wrong. And so if the result there and the other result coming up is a matter of collusion, of rigging. But what we're talking about is that before even you vote, we have to look at the card to see your face. So at that polling unit, you have to collude with everybody, such that when you come with another card and your face is not there and they say it's not your face, and if your face is not there and they say you vote, then that's you're going against the Electoral Act. And so I don't know exactly what happened, but I'm giving you scenario as an engineer. So that could, and when he says it's counted, card reader, the job is to do accreditation, and when we're running pilot, we also use it to send results. So it's result that is counted by the presiding officer, recorded, that is sent by the card reader. What we do at the world is to take image of that EC8A and also transmit when we have been running the pilot. So I don't know what exactly happened in his own case.
Let me get your views on this, Mr. Ozi, because what you have and what you've published is that you have 11,000, that would be 11,228,582 uncollected PVCs. How did we get to this point when your mechanism, you've assured us time and again that you're working on it and that we'll have, if not all, the PVCs collected, but you have about 11.2 million that are uncollected. What happened?
Well, thank you. I don't think there was any time that we said that nearly all PVCs will be collected. I think the difference is that we've said all are available for collection. You know, you cannot compel people who have registered to come and collect their cards. It's as simple as that. They cannot be compelled. In some countries, voting is mandatory, it's compulsory. So if that was the case in Nigeria, perhaps you'll get a higher level of collection. But yes, we've been assured people that they are ready, and we've tried different initiatives. Different states tried different initiatives. One thing that was common is that we've tried to call all those we harvested phone numbers of them, sent calls or sent text messages to all those numbers. And some people responded, but not quite the number we wanted. And don't forget that some of these people, some of these are cards for people who registered in 2010, 2011, and all the registration that has been done up till last year, up to 2018. So I think, if I remember correctly, 7-8 million with the last batch of registration. So about 3 million have joined it. Surprisingly, even some people who registered under CVR, that's in the last 1 year, have not gone back to collect. About 12, 13, 14, 15% in some cases have not gone back to collect. And you have been on this study severally where people talked about the hassles and challenges in collecting those cards. And one would have thought that having gone through all the hassle of collecting, of registering, that you go back to collect those cards. And also, when we're doing continuous voter registration, in the wards, in the different registration points, there's an officer designated to give cards to those who come to collect for those previous registrations. And usually, invariably, those officers were idle because they will only about 3-4 people in a day will come to collect those cards.
All right, then.
I really don't know the issues because we've tried, gone to different locations. The only thing we have not done, to the best officially, is to give by proxy.
Okay.
Some people have suggested that we do that, but there are challenges in that. So we say, no, we cannot give by proxy. You must come and collect the cards yourself, because there are challenges, where you say give by proxy and the proxy does not deliver to the master. Then there's a principle. Then there's a problem with that.
All right.
But different initiatives have been tried. Announcements on radio and television, social media, texting, phoning people, and door-to-door outreaches has been done in some areas to see that get people to go and collect. In some local governments, they went on market days to the market to say, look, in this particular ward, if you've not collected, we have your cards, come and collect. Several did respond, but not all. And certainly, there are some people who are dead. There are some people who have migrated or emigrated from the country. So some of those cards definitely will still be. And unfortunately, people don't respond to dead relatives or friends that they know to tell us so that we can sequester those cards. They are still part of the statistics.
All right, then Oluwole Osaze Uzi, Director Publicity and Voter Education, and Chidinma for Director of ICT. And gentlemen, thank you for coming on today. We hope that, who knows, we look forward to another briefing today, tomorrow. Not today. I think today is the last one for that. Thank you all, and we know you have a busy schedule, and we hope you have time at least for tomorrow as well. So, there we go. It's just one more. Who knows if there's going to be another briefing on the part of INEC. But having listened to some of those submissions and all of those concerns that people may have about going out there to vote, to a large extent, does this suggest that, well, if you go out there, the margin of error may not be as much, that those who set out to manipulate the process may have their way? Prof, you think that will be the case?
No, in this instance, I want to put Murphy's Law on hold.
Thankfully.
Yes. You see, Nigerians normally say once bitten, twice shy. But no, it's the reverse now. My take is that most people want to go and exercise their franchise. It's a decisive moment in the history of the country, and especially the young voters, who are in the majority, 52%. Many of the young people they are voting, some of them are voting for the very first time in their lives. And so I think they relish the idea of deciding who becomes the national leader. So the young people definitely will want to exercise their franchise. Now, the politicians have mobilized their supporters. And they always ask, do you have your PVCs? Show the PVC at rallies. And people show their PVCs. Yeah. So I believe many members of the electorate will troop out tomorrow and vote.
Let me have your last take on your take on
GG's last take, because we'll have a minute to go.
Well, maybe two, but
it can't be both. That's
well, it's presidential and National Assembly elections tomorrow. It's a critical, well, I don't know. Governors are retiring, so to speak, to the National Assembly these days. What's your take on that?
Well, it's the right of retirees, the pensioned governors, to continue to be active politically. Okay? We might need to revisit the guidelines in terms of doing away with what we call double portion, because some of these governors have pension arrangements, having served as governors. And when they go to the National Assembly, they are enjoying the benefit of pension and emoluments, so which really skews the process somewhat. But the people who have the right to determine who goes to the National Assembly. If the people are persuaded, then they will vote for them. But if they've left a bad record as governors, all things being equal, then they will lose the elections. So it's the electorate that we have to blame, instead of barring contestants to the National Assembly.
Unfortunately, we'll have to go, GT, but don't worry, your vote will count. Unfortunately, that's how far we can go this morning. Professor Akin Oyebode, Professor of Law, and GT Ogunye, election consultant. Gentlemen, thank you. Always a pleasure to have you both on.
It's a pleasure.
You're welcome.
All right, we're back in a moment. Don't go away.